Yeah, I'm a builder. I've got a lived experience of a suicide attempt and bipolar disorder. I'm a father of 3. I'm a surf lifesaver. Yeah. Yeah, the problem that I had was I hadn't slept for 100 days. So that led me to a suicide attempt. We'd been and seen a GP. My partner and I went and saw a GP. She was an emergency department nurse, and went and saw a GP, started medication that didn't change things in the short term. And because I hadn't slept for 100 days, that's when I made the decision to do an attempt, yeah. Yeah, so for 10 years before that, I'd been doing Muay Thai training for about 12 years, 6 days a week, and I ended up stopping going to training abruptly, not talking to my friends. So they thought that was a bit strange. I think the easiest way to ask if people are okay is to mention that you can see some symptoms. You know, you haven't been eating with us at lunch, you seem a bit withdrawn. You talk about that you don't have much to look forward to on the weekends. And then for the person that needs help, all you have to say is, I need some help. And you get that out. Once you get that out, that opens the door to another conversation. I think if you get pushback from the person that obviously needs help but doesn't want it at that stage, and that's their right to do, you should expand the circle around them. Go to their trusted friends and family and say, hey, listen, I've noticed something in this person. They've pushed back. This is what they've said, but I'm concerned about them. I've got, genuine. I've got their best interests at heart, and I think we should all just sort of keep an eye on the person and help them out if they need it. Yeah, it absolutely is. I mean, construction's blokey because men are interested in things, and men are naturally drawn to building things. Men are interested in things and women are interested in people. So we tend to follow careers that mirror those interests. In terms of people asking each other for help in that, like I said, we've got mates in construction now, and there's so much else awareness in the industry that make people feel that it's okay to ask if people need help. Well, there's the general steps that everyone in the community can take, which is there's a number of places you can ring for help. There's you can go to your GP and ask for a mental health plan to get 10 visits that are covered. You can get referred to a psychologist and all that sort of stuff. But the easy thing for us in construction, there's a sticker on a hat that says a connector, and you can just go up to that person and ask. That's as easy as it is for them, but it needs to be, because young apprentices they're 19 times more likely to suicide than if they weren't in the industry. Just by being in our industry, that's how risky it is for them. So we all got to keep an eye out for those young people. Yeah. So struggling in dark times for me is quite easy to pick. If my sleep gets disturbed, if I'm not training, if I'm not going to CrossFit, if I'm not doing stuff in the surf club. Winter's a difficult time for me because there's not a lot of activity around in terms of surf club training and all that sort of stuff. If I'm not eating the right foods, if I'm eating a lot of junk foods and things like that, if I have a lot of coffee, tea or alcohol, it affects you as well. So there's a number of things there, but sleep is the number one thing that I know that if I'm not sleeping properly, there's a problem. Yeah. Something really easy, and there's a Navy SEAL guy that actually advises it, is going for a 20-minute walk each day. And I tend to go for a 20-minute walk most days with my neighbour and my mates, and we'll just do an easy pace for 20 minutes. We'll see the sunset in Brisbane, which is a fantastic backdrop. And we'll talk, we'll sit on a certain lawn that has the best overlook over the city and talk. And as one of my friends said, it's sort of like getting back to country, is just being out and about and enjoying the sunset, which is such a cyclical part of our sort of DNA, seeing off the end of the day sort of thing. So the warning signs that you should think about that necessitate you asking for help is thinking of your capacity as a glass of water, and the glass is sort of a third full. And in that third full is like the normal stresses that you have in your life. And the rest of it is the capacity that you have to deal with other stresses. So if you get a few major events like you lose your job, you're praying your car, you break up with your girlfriend, and then you've got to move house, those things just in a sort of a maths sense add up to you don't have a lot of capacity left. So you should be thinking about doing something to get help. So that's sort of the early warning part of it. The more advanced sort of there's problems that I've got is if you're not sleeping, if you're feeling anxious constantly, if you're not eating properly, if you're getting stuck in a coffee, tea, alcohol, all that sort of stuff, if you're taking recreational drugs, if you're doing things you don't normally do, like you're staying out all night, partying and things like that, or if you're withdrawing, there's a whole bunch of things. And it's basically a deviation from your normal sort of routine. And your normal routine doesn't have to be like train tracks. It can have a lot of sort of width outside of it. When you're starting to go up against those sort of bumper guards of what you would normally do or have capacity to do, then that's when you should put your hand up and just say, I need some help. If you have someone that's close to you, that's remote to you and needs some help, there's a number of things you can do to get them help immediately. They can present to an emergency department where they can get checked out by an emergency clinician, and hopefully if there's a bed available, get put in a bed. Reaching out to professional help straight away is good. And then obviously you've got all the ancillary follow-ups with, Lifeline and places like that you can ring. But you definitely need to talk to someone. Because I've got a history of bipolar disorder and I've had a suicide attempt, I understand that I've got to leave myself open in terms of talking to my friends and family. And if they weren't available, I'd go to my doctor. And if he wasn't available, I'd go to an emergency department, which I've done before, and go in and say, hey, I need my levels checked. I'm having a hypomanic episode. So, it's like you're a rally car and you know that you've got to get a service done, and you just park yourself for a service. And after the suicide attempt, when I was checked into the mental health unit at the PA hospital up here in Brisbane, I felt instant relief because I was at a place I knew I could get help. I didn't have pressure. All I had to do was sleep, and I was in the right place with the right people to look after me. So that's what I do. If people felt that they needed some help, they should reach out first to their friends and family, followed up pretty quickly by professional medical help, which can be your local GP. Then it can go escalate from there to a psychologist, a psychiatrist who can prescribe medication. And then also as a last resort, you've got the emergency department, you can go there. The importance of talking is it lets both parties know that there's a problem. So when I had my suicide attempt, my partner was an emergency department nurse, and she's still an emergency department nurse, and you would think just off that they'd be really good at spotting issues and stuff, but I wasn't presenting in a way that I was suicidal. I didn't know how to ask for help, and all I needed to do really was say I need some help. And that's all that people need to do is get in front of someone and say I need some help. And then they'll probably ask, why do you need help? And you go, well, then you can start talking about all the signs and symptoms. So getting in front of someone and talking and asking for help is extremely important because it's the first step towards getting better.